Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, in pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson. Pretty much, it's almost like a continuation of the last couple videos I've been going into dealing with the day of the Lord. Jacob's trouble. When all these calamities start coming to pass, like I said in a prior video, this isn't, it's not just going to be one thing and one thing only that you have to deal with. It's going to be a barrage of different things hitting you all at one time, man. Things you can't even comprehend, things you can't even, right now you have a lot of people that's just worried about martial law, or a famine of food, or things like that, concentration camps, but it's a lot more than that. You also got thermonuclear missiles at end all be all right? And we're going to touch on this other one that, most people they're not even thinking about, man. All right, with these animals and these creatures that the Lord is about to let loose on everybody, man. All right, because there's a movie, I don't know, I might title this something like Jumanji or something like that, but there's that movie Jumanji, right? The original movie. I ain't seen the newer one, but there's that movie Jumanji, right? Where you got these kids, they be playing a little game or whatever, whatnot. Every time they roll the dice, some crazy shit happen. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like a bunch of fucking elephants and shit be running through the house, monkeys and shit. All these animals just be coming out of nowhere, right? And it'd be plaguing the people, right? But nevertheless, if you could imagine, visualize that. I don't know, I probably won't put the video up and, mix the video with this because they might take it down for copyright. But nevertheless, you can go on YouTube and just YouTube certain scenes in the movie Jumanji, and you see the animals just running haywire, And really, ultimately, hey, that's spiritual, man. That movie, that's real spiritual about that movie, because you also got that one dude, that old ass hunter dude, which is an Edomite, right? You're going to be having all these things happening all at once, man. The animals cutting loose, all out chaos, things that you wouldn't even expect going on. All right. Then Esau ultimately coming after your ass with the sword, man. Just like when you had the Jake cop that was in there, he's over here trying to worry about one regular little thing, a normal cop's job, something's going on. Oh, this person ran the red light or whatever, whatnot, He's trying to deal with a traffic ticket. Then all of a sudden it's a stampede of rhinoceroses running through this bitch, or elephants and shit. And he's scratching his head like, what the hell? And there's a call of a panic at the grocery store. You got a whole bunch of chimps and things running through there, a bunch of all kind of animals. You see what I'm saying? But at the end all be all, not only on top of that, you got other things as well too, hitting you like a barrage, like the famine going on, chaos, riots going on, Esau coming down at you. And then not on top of that, you also have these animals, all right? So I'm going to jump through a couple scriptures. I'm going to read about these things because, like I said, this is one of the things that people are forgetting about that's going to also come at you, man. All these animals that's in the zoo, these wild animals, especially when there's a famine that come to pass, man. And these animals ain't got, like the domesticated animals, let's say, all right, or even the domesticated animals, like people's pets, all right. Then you also have the animals that's in the zoo. When there's a famine and an economic collapse, people ain't going to be able to feed these animals, man. And what do you think these animals going to do, man? Some people are going to let their pets loose to go fend for themselves. All right, the zoo, when they ain't paying people at the zoo, they're going to just kind of close it down. What are they going to do with the animals, man? They ain't got the money to transport that shit, man. Eventually, all these animals going to get out and be running loose, and they're going to be hungry animals. Plus, the Most High is going to put the spirit on these damn animals to start hunting you people down, man. All right, so we're going to start here in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right. And that's a clear cut to you. A lot of you Christians out there who, I can't wait till Jesus come back. When Jesus come back, he going to snap his fingers and it's going to be lollipops and roses and hugs and kisses for everybody. Everything going to be fine. We're going to just keep being wicked all the way up until the day of the Lord return. As soon as he come back, as soon as we see his face, everything going to be all kosher. Nah, it ain't going to be all good, bro. Man, the Lord coming back to send a sword, bro, to execute judgment on this wicked ass place, man. All right, or really to uproot wickedness from out of the earth, man. Ultimately, all right. But nevertheless, continuing on verse. Let me read 18 through. Just keep going through. It says 18 through 20. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?" Yeah, how do you think you gonna wind up ending up? A lot of these Christians think, when the Lord come, we gonna be saved. We gonna be pre-tribulation raptured. We ain't gonna have to go through these things. But the Lord clearly say, "He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved." All right, so what you have to endure? What these plagues, these trials, these tribulations, this great day of judgment that's coming on the earth, man. You have to be able to endure and make it through all these things, man. If you don't get catch judgment in there, the Lord, then had mercy on you, man. I mean, the Lord could, deliver you from all these goddamn plagues and kill your ass in the thermonuclear missiles. It's going to be a lot of people that die like that, man. They're going to make it through all these things, man. But you be better off to die off in the, the first wave of this shit than to make it through all these other waves and just to die off in the thermonuclear missiles, man. But nevertheless, continuing on, it says, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, and went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? All right, so going back to verse 19, it's using this as a metaphor, right? It says, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, and he went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, representing, well, let me give you the breakdown. And so if you running, you being chased down by a goddamn lion, all right, and you think you're getting away from the line, you didn't juked him one time, you didn't cut left, and he didn't went to the right, and you didn't hid behind a tree like, oh shit, I done got away from that goddamn line, and you look up and it's a motherfucking bear crawling down the tree. Now you got to run from the damn bear. You starting to hide from the line, but now you hit up under a tree that's got a goddamn a bear that's in the tree that's climbing down after your ass, man. Now you running from the bear, and you run inside this goddamn house, and you just out of breath, you trying to catch your breath, and you got your hand leaned up on the wall, and all of a sudden a goddamn snake, a venomous snake bites your ass, man. So you didn't shook the lion, but then the goddamn bear didn't, you know what I'm saying? You shook the lion, but you didn't walk right into the damn bear's den. All right, then you didn't shook the bear, ran up into a house, but then the goddamn venomous snake bites your ass. Representing what? It's gonna be what is that movie Final Destination, right? Now, in that movie Final Destination, they so-called they find out a little pattern of death, and they try to escape the death. And then some scenes you're like, oh shit, I almost died right there, whatever, whatnot. They merely missed death, then all of a sudden they turn around and get hit with something else from the other side, But that's what it's gonna be like, it's gonna be like that, like, you might how do I say, make it through a goddamn a riot or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And get through with that, and then all of a sudden now you duck in a famine. Or let's say you duck in a famine, all right, you get through the famine, then all of a sudden you have to go through a riot to be able to get some food. You wind up getting some food from from throughout the riot of the people. Then all of a sudden, you get inside of a house to start cooking the food. You turn on the lights or whatever, whatnot. Now people surrounding you with that shit. All right, now all of a sudden, you got to break out the damn house. You got drones and shit chasing you down. Now you running into the woods. Now all the goddamn animals is coming out the woods to come get your ass, man. So ultimately, it's gonna be tribulation on top of tribulation on top of tribulation. All right. So now let me go from there to the book of Ecclesiasticus. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39. I'm going to start at verse 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks into the wicked. We plainly telling you these things, and only really the elect is going to receive this, because why? The wicked's not going to understand. You see what I'm saying? Like the scripture saying, Daniel, the wicked's, they're not going to understand. All right, the rest of them was blinded. The Most High's got 2/3 of our people blinded, and they're going to wind up catching destruction, man. We over here telling you about these things, but what? In the last days, it was going to come up scoffers, man. People get on the videos and scoff, thumbs down the video, talk a whole bunch of shit, make memes or whatever. Oh, these stupid niggas think it's going to be what they call the purge bust off in this bitch, man. They think World War III gonna come. They think nuclear missiles gonna come. These stupid niggas believe in UFOs. They think the animals finna come out. They think some shit like Godzilla finna come out the water. Hey, but that's what the scriptures say, man. And if you got the eyes to see, you see all these things happening right now, man. Yeah, a lot of these things was far-fetched when you brainwashed in this here world, all right, when you don't have the spiritual eyes to see. But now, hey, even if you, how do I say, carnally saying, even if you don't have the spiritual eyes to see, you have a lot of these people, like these Edomites, these whistleblowers, a lot of these people on the internet, they see a lot of this shit coming too, man. Oh, there's economic collapse. This is what the main story is on the news. Economic collapse, man. All right, you have that talking about, they talking about that. World War III, thermonuclear missiles. You see them raising up their arsenal. All right, the tensions between the citizens of America at each other's throat. All these things are brewing in the goddamn pot right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even not only the men of the Lord can see this, but what? You also have just some regular ass Edomites and shit like that see some of these things, but they don't know how to make understanding to these things, They, just like people seeing chariots and so-called UFOs, If you able to, not to say if you able to see one, if you just so happen to catch one, a glimpse of one, anybody could see one if they're in the right place at the right time, but how many people are going to be able to see that and understand exactly what that is? That's why they have the term UFO, unidentified flying object. We know them as the chariots of the Most High, the chariots of Israel. All right. These things are the vehicles for the Most High and the angel, or Yahweh Shai and the angels, you know. But nevertheless, continuing on, it says, verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for the sinners. All right. So look, and evil means what? Bad times, right? So these bad times and these evil things are created for the sinners. All right. These things we're going to keep going. It says, verse 26, the principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grapes, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so the sinner are they turned to evil. Yeah, because look, with all these little things, not going too far into these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, water is good, is healthy for you to drink, right? Fire, to light up your place or whatever, whatnot. Iron, you could build strong structures with it. Salt, you can preserve your food, flavor your food. Flour, so on and so forth, milk, honey, oil, clothing, all these things you can use for the good. But then you can also use these things for the wicked. You can contaminate the water. You can use fire to burn down villages and kill people, burn down the rainforests and shit. You can use iron to make a weaponry to go on a killing spree, or any of these things. You can contaminate food and things like that, GMO foods to kill off people, man. All right. Verse 27, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinner are they turned unto evil. All right. So just like how they say about technology and certain things, or even weaponry, it's not the sword that's actually evil. It's the one that's wielding the sword, because with that sword, you can sit there, you can, make a path through a goddamn woods to make a trail or something like that. Or you can protect yourself from a goddamn wild beast, or use that to slay a wild beast to eat it, or you can use it to wage war against, your neighbors or whatever, whatnot, just be putting people, to death. You know what I'm saying? But continuing on, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. All right. So some of these things are created for vengeance. All right. There's these spirits that's created for vengeance, like when you see a lot of these mass murderers and stuff like that, like the cartel, man. You know what I'm saying? You see the cartel, they be just hacking people up and cutting their limbs off, heads off, be doing all kind of foul, wicked shit to their ass. But guess what? Even though they doing wickedness or whatever, whatnot, the Lord is also using them to bring out judgment, this horrible judgment on the rest of these people over there, man. Because why? They doing some vile, wicked shit in their life as well, too, man. So the Lord uses them for wickedness, man. Whoever perished being innocent, man. The Lord, this isn't really happening. Well, you do have the martyrs of the Most High, the saints that's being, put to death. But nevertheless, it could be for something that you've done in your past life, man. Nobody really perished being innocent, man. All right. But nevertheless, there's certain spirits and things that's created for vengeance. All right. Just like in that movie, Final Destination. You know what I'm saying? When you look at that movie, Final Destination, you kind of critique it a certain type of way. Like, well, shit, that plane they was on, that plane was created just to go down and kill all these people, man. Or whatever it was in the plane that wound up causing the plane to short out or whatever, whatnot, to do whatever for it to wind up crashing. That little piece of device or whatever was created to be faulty, to bring this whole plane down, just to issue out this death warrant on all the people on the plane, man. Because why? The people on the plane, they was all slated for death at that point in time, in that moment, by the Most High. So what is he going to use? He's going to use because it's nothing for the Most High to snap his finger and motherfucking spirits just return unto him, right? But he uses, just like any and everything else on the planet Earth, he uses tools and mechanisms to carry out his agenda, man. All right, so what? He uses, like the scripture said, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, and he'll put his spirit inside of different type of devices, different type of animals or whatever, whatnot, that'll turn up to be a spirit of vengeance. You might have some people that's, every day at their job working on a goddamn, a rig or something like that with some pipelines or whatever, whatnot. And all of a sudden, this here pipeline just break, you know what I'm saying, and a massive amount of pressure and water come gushing out and explode and kill off about 5 or 6 people, man. Guess what? That was slated by the Most High to be used as a device to carry out his judgment, man. All right, when you see these things happening like that, oh, it was working on such and such, and there was an explosion and people died. That was used as a device, you know what I'm saying, for the Lord's vengeance, man. All right, it says, there, verse 28, Ecclesiastes 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right. So look, like I was saying, man, there'd be spirits or like the scripture said, there'd be spirits. All right. And also devices, that's created for the Lord's judgment and his vengeance. When you might be riding in your car, whatever, whatnot, like a regular everyday, everything's going smooth. And all of a sudden you get a goddamn blowout. Boom. Now your car roll over 18 times and your ass is dead. Or like, you probably seen that video on the YouTube where it's just a regular ass day. People sitting down at an outside diner or whatever eating. And all of a sudden it's like a fucking semi-truck tire come rolling out of nowhere. and damn near hit somebody and kill their ass, man. Hey, that tire had a spirit put on it that was directed, guided right towards that person it was going to kill, man. There's a 1 in a billion chance you was to get hit with that. Yeah, but that was that spirit that was created from the Lord to carry out their judgment, man. All right, and the Lord can put his spirit, like I said, this is just a rogue tire that just fell off somewhere and just rolled the fuck down the road at a high rate of speed and wound up killing somebody, man. The Lord can put his spirit inside of an object like that, or also inside of people to carry out judgment like Esau, all right? He was a sword, all right? Even the wicked that was created for the day of the Lord's judgment, all right? Or also in these animals, all right? Which we're going to get into, all right? It says, verse 28 again, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of destruction. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance, man. All right, so look, these are some of the ways that the Most High will put your ass to death. From fire, whether he rained from the heavens, or if they use missiles and bombs and shit. All right, hailstones, famine, a shortage of food, people starving to death, man. Contaminated food. All right, also weather, how do you say, destructive weather, all right, that could tear up all the crops. You know, you could bring in a massive flood, a hurricane or something like that to destroy crops where people get torn into a famine, or bugs that'll come in and, like I know here in Florida for Tropicana, you know, where they had a Tropicana oranges. Like if you look at their labels, they say it's like 100% orange juice on it. They don't even tell you it's 100% Florida orange juice anymore. And if you look at the back of the label, they're getting a lot of their oranges from, you know, places in America and also in Brazil, because they have a lot of parasites inside the oranges that's right over here. Matter of fact, where I'm at right now, all right beside me is Tropicana's orange groves, but these orange groves over here, or the oranges over here, they don't use these oranges because they all contaminated. All right, so guess what? The Lord can use parasites and bugs and things like that to contaminate the food, to make a famine, to cause what? Death. All right, it says, I'm going to read through this again. Verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of their destruction. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, and famine and death. All these was created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. All right, so it says teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, and serpents, man. All right, so the Lord is going to use these animals. He's going to put the spirit of vengeance on these animals, man. You know, you know, you got little Rocco, your favorite pit bull. You've been raising since, you know what I'm saying? He was a little puppy. You know what I'm saying? And not to say pit bulls are mean animals, you know, it's just how you train them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it firsthand. You know, you can have either an already grown pit bull, or you can raise a pit bull up as a puppy around a newborn baby, and they'll just know, don't fuck with that baby. You know what I'm saying? That's good. You know what I'm saying? But anybody come close to it, we gonna fuck that person up. But nevertheless, you know, this one massive pit bull that you got around your goddamn baby that is protecting your child, that you feel so safe and comfortable with, one day the Lord could put the spirit on that pit bull to just goddamn devour your child, man. And seek the blood of you while you in the bed sleep, man. You just wake up and your goddamn pit bull is gnawing at your face, man. All right, or shit, you could be in the bed sleep and all of a sudden a goddamn spider just slipped through the crack and goddamn inject your ass with some venom. All right, then your ass goddamn wound up dying. Or, you know what I'm saying, a snake or some shit like that, man. All kind of different things. Like where we at here in Florida, right? Central Florida. Now we don't how they say pythons aren't really indigenous to Florida. All right, but you had a lot of people who was releasing goddamn pythons into the wilderness out like south from here, you know, like in the Everglades and shit, kind of like by Miami. All right, now, and these fuckers get big as shit out there, man. They get 14, 15, 16 feet long out there, man. All right, because why? There ain't nobody out there really catching them, and it's really nothing out in the Everglades but just swampland, man. So they be out there just eating whatever, man, getting huge as fuck. All right, but now, up where I live around Central Florida, all right, you starting to see a bunch of these, like, we call it baby pythons, man. And these ain't like store-bought pythons or whatever, whatnot, somebody just let loose. No, these are like little hatchlings that didn't hatch, you know what I'm saying? These are little baby pythons, and yet they already 2-3 feet long, man. You see them saying, like a little baby python, 2-3 feet long, man. And you know, well, this motherfucker just hatched, man. We got wild gators like a motherfucker out here, man. I see these gators like damn near every day at work, man. You'll be riding around, you see a little ditch or whatever, whatnot, and in the little ditch sometimes. I remember, you know, when I was younger, I was riding my bike to a friend's house, and the little ditches where the water go and whatever, whatnot. I had seen a bunch of little eggs down there, and there was a bunch of little baby gators that had hatched down there, man. There's probably about 8 little baby gators down in that little bitch out there, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, man, you got all these wild animals, and people here wake up to be seeing alligators on their front porch, alligators in a swimming pool, alligators in a kitchen. I don't know how the fuck the damn gators get in the house, but nevertheless, people be finding big ass gator. Matter of fact, there's a gator, all right, that's Salah, give me a second. All right, so I just YouTubed this, right? Now, a lot of people think that this shit is CGI or some fake ass shit. But I can tell you firsthand, this shit is not far from around the so that says in Lakeland, but nevertheless, it's not far from where my house is, right? And so this is a normal area where, you know, you would go past this area or whatever, whatnot. I've personally seen this big ass fucking gator, man. Once a year, this fucker makes the news. They put it on the news. They didn't name this gator. This gator been living over here for multiple years, all right? But nevertheless, this bitch is like 18 foot. All right, this is not no CGI or nothing like this, man. Now, he's pretty calm. Look at this shit.
You gotta be kidding me. Well, you ever seen anything that big? No, never. I think that's two guys in an alligator suit.
Look how big this fucking gator is compared to this dude, bro. You see what I'm saying? The Most High's got, man, and this ain't really shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You be having these shits like, and this motherfucker just roam around. They don't try to catch this fucker. They be like, nah, man, we gonna just leave this bitch over. He been living here for like, shit, I can remember for like the last maybe 10 or plus years, man. This gator's been living on the same ass golf course where people, you see them, they out there golfing, man. This gator just happened to walk by, and all they do is stop the game. They film this gator and keep it moving, man. All right?
Dave, get next to it for perspective.
This ain't no two dudes in no goddamn alligator suit or nothing like that, man. Now, I guarantee you read these comments, right? This ain't probably got none, but they're like, oh, this is CGI or it's something fake, man.
Spectrum Mobile has no added taxes or fees. Just $45 a month for unlimited.
That's the same video. But nevertheless, I was looking for some of these people because I remember, yeah, this could be real. Yeah, here we go. Some of these people think that it's all fake. Looks very much like a croc, but I still think it's animation. Yeah, you're going to think that till this motherfucker's chasing your ass down, man. But see, this is what I'm talking about. People think that these things, these are scoffers, man. They don't think that these things are, hold on. Yeah, see, read this one. Cool story, but this is not a croc, it's an alligator. Anyone from the area knows this is not an animation. Yeah, like I said, you live around in this little area. You know about this goddamn gator, bro. You know exactly where it's at, bro. I could drive right now, 15 minutes down the road. Literally, I'm one street away from where this shit is at, man. You know what I'm saying? I can go down to this golf course right now and show you the same exact golf course. I ain't gonna go looking for this fucker, but hey, man, people think these things are fake. I don't think this is the same one, though. This might be a different gator because this don't look like that golf course. That ain't no alligator. Yeah, it is a goddamn alligator, man. Look at this one. Imagine stepping out your balcony and they're in your backyard. What a nice day. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what it should be walking around out here in Florida, bro. No fences, no nothing. All right? Nevertheless, let me get back to the lesson. Like I said, man, hey, this ain't no joke. Ain't nothing like this. And these are just like a one-off things that this the one that lives on this goddamn golf course. So, and you have a lot of people that go to that golf course there. So, you know, they take videos of it. That's why it's out there like that. But, like out here where we live at, you know, and where I work at, damn near every house I go to is pretty much sitting on the lake. Every one of these damn lakes have at least 1 or 2 gators in there, man. All right, and a small gator, for the people out here to think of a small gator, is like a 4 or 5 foot gator, man. That's a so-called small gator. All right, the thing I just showed you is a so-called big gator. All right, but hey, look, man, the Lord has created these damn spirits for vengeance. Think about how much that gator can eat, man. All right, well, you let his ass get loose and just start chomping down on people, man. And this is close to a residential area, right across the street from this golf course. Matter of fact, there's a couple subdivisions of homes, and right next door to the golf course is a like a goddamn, what do you call them parks? A recreational park where they got baseball fields, tracks, kids play soccer, and on the other side of that shit is a goddamn what is it, an elementary school, and I think it's an elementary school and a middle school. All right, now, like right where I'm at, like right next to where I'm at, is like a goddamn high school they just built, man. This is all within maybe a 5-minute drive from, like, you know, I'm like maybe 5 minutes away from the golf course right now, man. All right, there's a bunch of little children and things like that. I tell people all the time, man, hey, y'all better watch out, kids, man. There's goddamn gators out here in the lake, man. Somebody, not too long ago, somebody was walking their goddamn pit bull around the damn lake, and a big ass gator, in one leap and one bite, jumped out the damn lake, grabbed the damn pit bull, and brought his ass back in the water, man. All right, and swallowed his ass up, man. All right, so the Lord is going to be using these animals as well, all right, to execute his judgment and his vengeance out on the people, man. All right. Let me read this again from verse 30 and 31. It says, you know, these are the spirits that was created for vengeance. All right. It says, let me go to verse 28. It says, there be spirits that be created for vengeance, which in their fury lay sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, famine, death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punish the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment. All right, like, hey, you can read also the Lord has gather all the fowls of heaven because he sanctified a feast. All right, but nevertheless, that's another thing, man. We got these big ass birds out here too, man. That's another fucking thing out here, man. Sometimes you be out here and, like, yo, I be like, you know, I be very cautious about these goddamn. You got ospreys, you got hawks, you got goddamn owls, you got eagles and shit like that, man. And these fuckers are big, man. They got thick ass talons and shit like that. That, like, literally they can come swoop down and probably detach one of your ligaments. All right, but nevertheless, hey, and they tell you, they have signs out here with warning signs out here to tell you, like, watch your little small dogs because these birds are around. All right, we got all kind of fucked up ass wildlife signs out here, man. We got a area where they call Panther Ridge, where you got to watch out because a bunch of panthers and shit just running loose out in there, right? You got what they call like a Florida bobcat and shit like that. They be running loose out in this bitch, man. Gators, bobcats, panthers, big ass birds and shit. You know what I'm saying, man? You got all kind of snakes, big ass snakes, man. All right, you got snakes that be eating alligators out here, man. All right, you got alligators that be eating these big ass snakes, and you got the snakes that be eating the big ass alligators, man. They had a goddamn like a 17-foot snake eat a 12-foot gator out here, bitch. Come on, bro. When the Lord let these spirits loose on a human population, man, you got some snakes in your house as pets, man. They get loose and you wake up and one of them is wrapped around your goddamn infant baby, or you wake up and your snake is, you know, wrapped around your ass. You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit out here, man. Like I said, or like the people in that video said, man, you wake up to an 18-foot gator in your kitchen. Look that up. There's people, like I said, go on YouTube and look up alligator found and just leave it blank. They find them in kitchens, bathtubs, swimming pools, front porches, all kind of shit out here, man. All kind of shit. They also got wild ass deers out here, man. And you fuck around with a goddamn deer, get close enough to a deer and they child, man, and you'll get you wind up getting attacked by the damn deer. We got these other birds too, these big ass, what they call sand cranes. And this bird is goddamn maybe about 4.5 feet, you know, from the ground to the top of his beak, man. There's a dude that I was talking to who knew somebody else who was trying to feed the damn bird. All right, and this bird wound up pecking him in his chest, and it put a hole right in his heart, man. All right, so this bird's head and his beak came up to the dude's heart level, man. We just poked his ass in his heart and punctured, or I think it was his lung, punctured the shit, and the dude wound up dying, man. All right, and it's just a regular bird. And these birds, they just be walking around. They got signs for these shits too, man. And it's a big ass bird. Like, if they be like, and they walk in like pairs of 2 and 3. But nevertheless, if you wind up hitting one of these birds with your car, you're gonna fuck your car up. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no little bitty ass bird, bro. So the Lord can literally put the spirit on these animals, and there's an abundance of animals just walking around out here in the wild, bro. Like, you ain't really got to go to the zoo out here in Florida to see some wild shit. You just go anywhere and everywhere, you'll see these fuckers all day long, man. You'd be surprised the type of shit you see running across the goddamn street, man, or in the trees and shit, man. All right, we not talking out in the woods and the boondocks and shit like that. We talking about in like residential neighborhoods, man. Like that big ass gator where I just showed you. It's on a golf course where there's an abundance of people that go there every day and play golf, man. And like I said, right beside is a big ass recreational center where they have like after school activities like soccer and shit like that, where it's constantly people on the goddamn field, man. All right, but nevertheless, it says hey, I was done there. Let me just continue on because I'm going too far into that already. Let me go to the book of Job though. Because, you know, Job speak about big-ass animals like this, man. I wanted to read both of these chapters pretty much all the way through, but I'm going to read a little bit of it. This is Job chapter 40. Matter of fact, give me a second. This is Job chapter 40. I'm going to start at verse 15. All right. Now, before I get into that, let me define a word here because they're going to go into this word called behemoth. All right. Behemoth. It says, well, that's not really giving a definition there, but nevertheless, it says perhaps an extinct dinosaur, Diplodocus or Brachiosaurus, extinct unknown meaning. Some translate as an elephant or hippopotamus, but from the description in Job 40 and 15 through 24, which you're going to read, this is patiently absurd. So this is some bullshit. The shit that they talking about, this is not no elephant, not no hippopotamus. And some people say even it might be an alligator, right? Or, well, no, this one ain't talking about an alligator, but they think that this is probably like a hippopotamus, rhinoceros, or elephant. This is how some people translate it, but this is not what the fuck this is, man, when you read it, because it's going to give you a description. It's going to define what the hell it is when we read it. And you know that this ain't no goddamn elephant or no hippopotamus, no rhinoceros or nothing like that, right? But they're saying it's probably an elephant, an extinct dinosaur, all right? It says, oh, we're not going to go in there. Job 40 and 15, it says, behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee, have eaten grass as an ox. All right. So it's going to go into this description of what behemoth is. It's going to describe it. All right. Now you visualize what the hell this here thing is. All right. But it already told you it's pretty much like a damn dinosaur, man, or a big ass beast. All right. Behold now, behemoth, which I made with thee, hath eaten grass as an ox. And lo, his strength is in his loins, and his force in his navel of his belly. All right. So look, just like when you think back to the T-Rex and stuff like that, man. All right. A lot of it's how do I say it? Is the force that can be generated is through what? The lower extremities, his lower legs, and his torso, man. All right. It says, he moveth his tail like a cedar. All right. His sinews of his stones are wrapped up together. All right. So look, his tail is like a goddamn cedar tree. All right. The tail of this animal is like a goddamn cedar tree. So also when you think about that in that movie, The Land Before Time, those really long neck, big ass dinosaurs that you see in there, you know what I'm saying? They had that big ass long tail. First of all, their neck is like a goddamn cedar tree, and then their tails are like cedar trees as well too. You know, it says he moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong as a piece of brass. His bones are like the bars of iron. So this animal has got strong ass bones to where like you ain't gonna just normally just, you know, it's not like you can just break this goddamn animal's bones easily and readily. It's not like a goddamn bear trap or something like that where, you know, you can, if it step into this thing, this damn trap come up on it and close on it, it's going to break his bone or whatever, whatnot. No, you're not going to break his bone that easily, all right? It says, verse 19, he is the chief of the ways of the Most High. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him, all right? So really, you can't even really slay this damn animal, man. It's got to be the Most High to be the one to slay this goddamn animal because he's the one who created it. But nevertheless, this is it says he is the chief of the ways of the Most High. All right, this is like the so-called king of the jungle, man. All right, like you say about lions, they the king of the jungle. They the top predator. Don't nobody really fuck with the lion like that, you know. Maybe some goddamn hyenas, a pack of hyenas, but really don't nothing really fuck with the damn lion. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, like the hyena, one or two hyenas might be afraid of, or one hyena is normally afraid of the goddamn lion. But, you know, if it's a whole pack of these motherfuckers and one lion, they can gang up on them. But nevertheless, with the dinosaurs, all right, you see these movies about these dinosaurs or whatever, whatnot, it's not really too many animals that really fucking eat especially the bigger dinosaurs. You have some of the bigger dinosaurs that eat meat will actually devour some of the smaller dinosaurs, you know what I'm saying, that they can actually eat up, like, again, the T-Rex. You know what I'm saying? He could probably pick up and eat a little small raptor or something like that, or a smaller dinosaur or something like that, you know? But nevertheless, continuing on, verse 20, surely the mountains bring forth food where all the beasts of the field play. All right. So look, like I said, it says up at verse 15, you know, going into this here animal's diet, more than likely it's what they call a herbivore or something like that, where it pretty much is like a vegetarian or whatever less. It's not a carnivorous animal. It's not really eating other meat. Right. But nevertheless, it says, Surely the mountains bring forth food where all the beasts of the field play. All right, so he could be eating the trees out of the mountains or whatever, whatnot, or he could be eating the goddamn animals that be up in the mountains. All right, but what? All the shit that's in there, this is pretty much his goddamn meal. He's the top of the food chain. All right, it says verse 21. He lieth under the shady trees in the covert of the reeds and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadows. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan with his mouth. All right. Let me see. He taketh with his eyes and his nose pierced through with snares. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? This damn animal, damn near, you see this damn animal, he can drink damn near enough water. You could think if he was around a small ass lake or some shit, he could probably drink the whole goddamn lake. You know what I'm saying? Or like, it's not enough water for him. Like, yo, you got a little bird, right? In a little bird nest or a little small puddle of water or a water fountain. He can drink from that and be satisfied. But then you get something a little bit bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like a dog, he can drink up a whole goddamn dog bowl. But look, you try to feed an elephant, some water in a dog bowl or a small little, a Chihuahua dog bowl. Of course, it's not enough water for the goddamn elephant. He gonna need something way bigger. He can drink a whole bathtub full of water and still be thirsty. How much more this goddamn beast that can damn near drop a whole river, But now we're gonna go from there to chapter 41, Job 40 and 41, talking about a different type of beast, man. Now, when the Lord start creating, now we don't even know what the hell is all up in the damn Amazon. And contrary to popular belief, the whole goddamn planet Earth has not been so-called searched out and all the different things, man. You don't know what the fuck is at the bottom of the ocean. All right, you don't know what the fuck is in a lot of these remote areas and some of these caves. You know what I'm saying? And some of these wooded areas and forests on the planet Earth, man. Like I said, they ain't even went through all the damn Amazon, man. All the Congo, man. They ain't went through all these goddamn rainforests of the Earth to see and find all these damn animals, man. All right. It says this is Job 41, but before I get there, let me define this here word real quick. This is the word Leviathan, all right? Leviathan. It says Leviathan, a sea monster, all right? A dragon, a large aquatic animal, perhaps the extinct dinosaur Plateosaurus, extinct meaning or exact meaning unknown, all right? Some think this to be a crocodile, but from the description in Job 41, 1 through 34, which we're going to read, because again, you don't really got to go through the definition, but even here it breaks it down a little bit better, because in the scriptures, it's not going to say, oh, this is a dragon, or this is a goddamn sea monster. They're going to give you the description of it to where it's painting a picture, and if you was to draw all these things out, like you giving a police report, well, what does he look like? Oh, he was tall, dark, his hair was like this, and they give a composite sketch. Pretty much, if you do that, what we're about to read here, you'll understand what the hell you get. It's pretty much like a Godzilla type creature, man. All right. It says, hey, and like there's nothing new under the sun. Where the hell they get the concept of Godzilla from anyway, man? All right. But nevertheless, it says Leviathan, a sea monster, a dragon, a large aquatic animal, perhaps the extinct dinosaur Plateosaurus, exact meaning unknown. All right. So shit, again, we don't know what's at the bottom of the goddamn ocean, man. All right. It says something this to be a crocodile, but from the description of Job 41, 1 through 34, this is plainly, basically absurd. It appears to be a large fire-breathing animal of some sort, just as the barometer beetle has an explosion production mechanism, so that the great sea dragon may have an explosive production mechanism to enable it to breathe real fire, to be a real fire-breathing dragon. All right? So look, again, you got all these stories, these myths, and so on and so forth about tales of dragons and fire-breathing dragons and so on and so forth, but what we don't seem to see these things nowadays in modern day time. But who knows? Who's not to say that, that these animals weren't, dinosaurs like the dragons or whatever, whatnot, were just not dinosaurs or bigger beasts. And who even knows that how long ago these animals actually went away? Because just think about it now. What would civilization be like right now if we had a bunch of dinosaurs and shit walking around the goddamn cities and shit? You in the middle of a traffic jam and the goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex decided to just walk across the goddamn street, destroy your car, man. Civilization would be kind of fucked up if we had a bunch of dinosaurs just running rampant around this bitch, man. So ain't no telling if, what Esau done and, ain't no telling what happened with that part. But nevertheless, hey, these things are still created for the Lord's vengeance, all right? Or here it says Leviathan, it says, a wreathen animal, a serpent, especially a crocodile, some sort of large sea creature, figuratively the constellation of the dragon, also a symbol of Babylon, Leviathan, mourning. But nevertheless, it's not no goddamn crocodile. It's basically something like, if you was to visualize it, it basically look like Godzilla, all right, or some type of form. But let's read it. Job 41, it says, can thou draw out Leviathan with the hook, or his tongue with a cord that thou lettest down? All right. Basically asking the question, can you catch this motherfucker like a fish? You know, you can catch all these other sea creatures in the ocean, but can you catch Leviathan? It says, can thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee, or wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Like, yo, if you catch Leviathan, you gonna actually put it, like, can you actually, first of all, can you actually fish his ass out the water and catch his ass? And then can you put him into a goddamn exhibition like the aquarium or SeaWorld or some shit like that? Can you put him in a cage? All right. Verse 5, will thou play with him as with a bird? Will thou bind him for thy maidens? Again, you gonna put his ass in the SeaWorld and make him a spectacle or an attraction. All right. Verse 6, will the companions make a banquet of him? Will they part him among the merchants? You know, you're going to, you know, make a fish market out of his ass, cut him up and sell his body parts for, you know, delicacies or whatever, whatnot. You know, oh, we eating whale or whatever, we eating shark, whatever, whatnot, whatever the fuck they be eating, you know, whatever type of fish. You going, like tuna. Oh, you going to catch all these tunas and cut them up and have a tuna market or a Leviathan market? No, man. Even like the Most High is being facetious with asking all these things. Well, actually, Job is being facetious with asking about these things, right? Because all the answers to these things is no. You ain't gonna do none of this shit to this goddamn animal. Even if you saw him face to face, you ain't catching his ass with none of the shit that you got, and you're not gonna damn sure ain't gonna put him in no goddamn SeaWorld type shit or the zoo or nothing like that, bro. You're not gonna cut him up, sell his food for meat, or sell his body parts like how they get the ivory off the elephant tusk, man. They ain't gonna be doing that, man. You ain't gonna see no goddamn mantelpiece with no Leviathan head on the top of that bitch, man. All right. It says, verse 7, can thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? All right. So again, like, you can't pierce this animal, man. It's not gonna happen, man. Lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Put your hands on him and remember how long you fought, how tough the fight was. That's all you're gonna have to do, man, because you're gonna lose the battle, man. You're not gonna reign supreme over this damn beast. It says, verse 9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Again, you ain't catching this motherfucker, man. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? All right, so ain't nobody got the balls to goddamn wake up Leviathan and go after his ass like the movie Godzilla, man. It ain't, man, these motherfuckers is not going to, they see this motherfucker sleeping, they be like, you know what, let's turn around and go back home. Let's not try to even wake this motherfucker up because we see how big this fucker is. You know, oh, this shit is massive. It took up my whole peripheral. And that's just his motherfucking foot. Ain't no telling where the whole body is at, man. All right. You see these damn dinosaurs and things, the skeletal systems of these dinosaurs, man. You ain't seen no skeletal system of Leviathan yet, man. All right. It says, verse 11, who have prevented me that I shall repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. All right. So basically, he ain't gonna be hidden forever, man. The Most High is gonna use this, like we read. There's vengeance that be created for the spirits that be created for vengeance, even wild beasts, the teeth of wild beasts, man, and serpents and scorpions, man. All right, who can discover his face or his garment? Who can come to him with a double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. All right, his scales are his pride, shut up together as with the closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They're joined together. They stick together. They cannot be sundered. All right, so going into like it, you know, you think about a fish and the fish got scales on his back, you know, or think of another animal like that. Well, let's say a fish got scales on his back, you know. Now, you know, if you ever, you know, was scaling fish or whatever, whatnot, you know, the scales of the fish is actually a lot harder than the actual skin of the fish, right? So it's actually like an outer skeletal shell on the outside for the softer flesh that's on the inside. All right, same with Leviathan, pretty much like that. You know how all the fish scales are all pretty much in a line, overlapping one another, so on and so forth, you know? Or like the shingles inside on the top of your roof, you know, they all laid over one, overlapping another, so that what? The water's not really seeping through the shingles to get to the roof, the wood, the part of your roof, to make your roof wet, you know? It's basically talking about the same thing with Leviathan, man. He got scales on his back, and they so close together that you, or like a snake scales, you know, that you can't really pierce his skin because they so close together, man. Air can't even get in between these damn scales, man. All right. It says, verse 18, by his nesting a light doth shine, and his eye seem and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. All right. So look, he got his eyes light up for one, and out of his mouth goeth burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out, and out of his nostril goeth smoke as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindles coals, and flame go out of his mouth. So this is a fire-breathing beast. All right, fire-breathing beast. And they actually got a beetle that actually breathe fire, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is a fire-breathing beast. So people would think fire-breathing dragons or whatever, those type of beasts or whatever, whatnot, are fairy tales. Like, no, this is what's in the scriptures, man. And they just told you multiple times over that, look, it's got smoke coming out of his nose, and it's a fire-breathing beast, man. Imagine this big-ass Godzilla-like creature coming out the goddamn water, all right, breathing fire on your ass, all right, and just crushing you up under his feet and knocking over buildings with his goddamn tail, man. You can't do nothing to really damage this goddamn creature, man. You can't shoot no missiles, no bombs, none of that to destroy this damn creature, man. It's just going to be eating whatever's in his path, man. All right? But continuing on, it says, verse 22, in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrows is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as a hard piece, as another millstone. All right. So look, man, you're not gonna, like, you can't pierce through this here animal with no spear, no stake or whatever, whatnot to, oh, if we could just puncture it through his flesh and we could get him in his heart, he'll die. First of all, you ain't getting through the outer scales or the outer shell of his body, man, let alone to get through the skin or to the flesh, man. And you're not gonna be able to break this here beast's bones either, man. All right. Verse 25, when he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breaking, they purify themselves. You know, these people shitting bricks when they see this thing, like in the movie Godzilla, when that thing come out the water and it make that loud ass roar, everybody trembling in his sight, man. All right. Verse 26, the sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the harbingon. But nevertheless, none of your weapons is going to be able to stand against this this beast, man. It says, verse 27, he esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrows cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him unto stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of the spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. All right. So look, man, all your missiles, your guns, all your traps, whatever you got to try to shoot at this thing, it's not going to work out. He's going to be laughing at your ass, man. You're going to be having these 50 millimeter rounds that you shooting off at the top from one of these AC 100s or these Warhogs or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be just dumping on this bitch, but he going to just be like, man, nigga, this shit is child's play. That's just, it's scratching my belly real quick, man. I had an itch. I couldn't even reach that. But thank you, bro. You ain't really doing nothing but just wasting time and opportunity for me to be eating your ass, man. All right? A fire-breathing goddamn beast coming up out the damn ocean, man. That men tremble when they see his sight, man. All right? His tail, you know, well, the other one, his tail's like a cedar, but nevertheless, hey, man, you're not capturing, killing, or controlling this here beast, man. This here beast was created for the Lord's vengeance, and he's going to let these things loose, man. And the Lord don't really create one thing as one off. You know, it's normally pairs because he deal with balance. If he created a male of it, he got females of it, man. And there's going to be multiple ones of these things, all right? Verse 31, he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh the path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon the earth there is not his like, who is made without fear, who beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. So ultimately, this thing here is created to be a spirit of vengeance upon Esau, Edom, man, the children of pride, man. When the Lord let loose these Leviathans, they're going to be out here devouring the people, man, coming upon Esau, man. So again, just think about Esau from his perspective, man. He got economic collapse going on. He got civil unrest going on in America. All right, he got World War III he got to handle. All right, he got thermonuclear warfare coming. All right, he got the chariots coming. All of a sudden, you got the animals running rampant. Now you got a goddamn Godzilla coming after your ass, man. Not just Godzilla, some other creatures like goddamn dinosaur size roaming up on your ass, man. What you gonna do in that day, man? Like I said, it's gonna be like a real life Jumanji, man. You're gonna have all kind of shit coming out the woodwork, hitting you from left and right. You're gonna be trying to just imagine just the Leviathan thing alone, man. Trying to just imagine that motherfucker rolling up on your ass. You just trying to process that. You ain't even got time to focus on the famine, the race wars, the motherfucking martial law. You ain't got time to focus on none of that because you trying to process a motherfucking Godzilla rolling on your ass, man. All right, but nevertheless, I'm gonna squeeze in two more real quick, just because I like the way it's worded. You know, the last verse, Isaiah 25. Isaiah 25 and 17, it says, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am Yahweh when I lay my vengeance upon them. So look, man, all you scoffers, you gonna find out in that day, man. Because like the scripture says, it's gonna be multiple things hitting you like a barrage. Like you fleeing from a lion and the bear met you, and you just shook the lion and you ran into a house, but then a snake bit your ass, man. All these things gonna be coming out. You might have escaped Behemoth, but then Leviathan come get your ass, man. You might have escaped Behemoth and Leviathan and a goddamn big ass alligator eat your ass, man. Or a goddamn mountain lion or a panther or some shit come attack your ass, man. All right, now the last one is in Micah 5:15. It says, "And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard." So some of these, you ain't never heard of Godzilla goddamn attacking your ass, or no goddamn dinosaur attacking your ass, man. America ain't never experienced being attacked by thermonuclear missiles or all-out purge and race war. So all these things are coming to pass. But hey, you can't count out the animals, man, because there be spirits that's created for vengeance, man. And the Lord has created these vengeance to go forth in the day of the Lord to execute his vengeance upon all the wicked, man. So again, man, this is more reason to fear the Most High and get on the right side. Repent, come back to the law, statutes, commandments. At least you find yourself having a fight with the Most High, man. And he gonna be throwing at you some shit that's gonna make imagine you just seeing Leviathan on its own, man. You might just have a heart attack from that alone, man. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Ark, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.